What if your CAD model is perfect, but the molded part still comes out with dents, bends, or visible lines? In this video, we'll understand 3 very common plastic defects: sink marks, warpage, and weld lines, and most importantly, why they happen. This is where plastic design becomes interesting. The CAD may look completely correct, but after molding, the actual component can behave very differently. So what went wrong? A single plastic component can develop many different defects. Sink marks, warpage, weld lines, short shots, flow marks. All can appear depending on how the part is designed and molded. Today our focus is on the first 3. Before we begin, remember one important rule. A plastic defect usually does not have only one cause. Material, design, process, and tooling all work together. So always look at the complete system. Let's start with sink marks. A sink mark is simply a small depression on the visible surface of a molded plastic part. But the real cause is usually hidden behind that surface. As you can see, due to backside geometry, we have a local pressure drop, and thus material tend to shrink locally. And that is the reason we can see on other side a defect, which is nothing but called sink mark. Hope with this visualization, it will be more clear now how sink mark is created on a plastic part. Here is what happens. A locally thick section contains more material. More material means more shrinkage during cooling. And that shrinkage pulls the visible surface inward, creating the sink mark. So when designing for sink marks, think about 4 things. First, wall thickness. Avoid unnecessary thick regions. Second, ribs. The rib base should be properly proportioned relative to the main wall. A thick rib base can create a local hotspot and increase shrinkage. Third, bosses. Use proper coring and avoid large solid material concentrations near the visible surface. And fourth, cooling. Even a reasonable geometry can develop sink marks if the local thick area cools much slower than the surrounding wall. So sink is really a combination of geometry, material distribution, and cooling. Bosses can create the same sink mark problem. If the boss joins the main wall with too much material at its base, we create a locally thick section. That area cools slower and shrinks more, which can pull the opposite visible surface inward and create a sink mark. One common solution is proper coring. By removing unnecessary material and maintaining the recommended boss-to-wall thickness ratio, we get a more uniform material distribution and reduce the risk of sink marks. So while designing a boss, always think about local thickness coring and the wall thickness ratio. Now imagine your CAD says the part is perfectly flat, but after molding, the corners lift and the entire component twists. That is warpage. Warpage is unexpected bending or distortion of a molded plastic component. The part does not remain in the shape we originally designed. Why does this happen? Mainly because different areas of the part shrink differently. Unequal shrinkage, unequal cooling, and material flow orientation can create internal stresses. And after molding, those stresses move the part. Wall thickness has a major influence. A uniform wall tends to shrink more consistently. But when the geometry suddenly changes from thick to thin to thick, different regions cool and shrink differently. That difference increases the risk of warpage. Large flat components may look simple, but keeping them flat can actually be difficult. Long spans are much more sensitive to small differences in shrinkage and cooling. So when keeping a plastic component in shape matters, always think about shrinkage, cooling, geometry, material, flow, and process. They all influence the final shape. Now let's look at something completely different. What happens when the molten plastic flow reaches an obstacle, such as a hole? The flow has to split. The material moves around both sides of the obstacle. Now we have 2 separate melt fronts traveling through different paths. Eventually, those 2 fronts meet again. To summarize, when flow splits, the material separates and then rejoins to create this weld line. Being aware of where these lines form is essential for quality control. This meeting point creates a weld line. It is also sometimes called a knit line. In simple terms, 2 melt fronts separate, travel around the geometry, and then rejoin. But a weld line is not only a cosmetic issue. If it appears on a visible surface, appearance may become a problem. And if it appears in a highly loaded or high-stress area, it can become much more important from a structural point of view. So the key question is not only, do I have a weld line? The better question is, where is the weld line located? So remember, sink marks are strongly connected to local thickness and shrinkage. Warpage comes from uneven shrinkage, cooling, and material behavior. And weld lines form where separated melt fronts meet again. Understanding these 3 defects early in design can save a lot of trouble later during tooling and production. If you found this useful, subscribe to the channel for more practical automotive plastic design and development topics.